We are excited that you are excited to be there.
That's terrific. My first question is, do civilizations on other star systems still have a zodiac system?
Well, obviously, they sometimes will recognize that they can impose patterns on the stars, but not many of them express the idea of the zodiac in the way that your planet does.
Okay.
At least none that we've encountered so far.
So that's like a unique thing to Earth here?
Relatively, in the way that you express it, yes.
Okay.
Others can recognize the idea of the reflective nature of those patterns being a reflection of different levels of their collective or individual consciousness. But the way that many people on your planet interpret this, as you call in a zodiac format, is relatively unique.
Okay. My next question is, I understand how everything's happening all at once. Like, I feel that to be true.
All right.
But I don't really understand how that's possible or how that actually works.
Well, it's possible because there's actually only one moment in existence. Now. Therefore, there's only one place everything needs to exist in. Now and here. That's it. So it has to have the ultimate time-sharing program of the only place there is and the only time there is, here and now. Therefore, the different vibrations cause it to seem as if it's sharing that same now and here on different frequencies that then create the ability to perceive them without overlapping. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Well, you know, again, by analogy, that if you are watching one television program on your TV, you know there are probably hundreds of other programs playing simultaneously,
right.
Don't you? Well, don't they all exist at the same time for you? It's just that they're on different frequencies. So you only see the one that you're tuned to at any given moment. But if you change the channel, then you see another one of the parallel reality TV shows that was going on at the same time as the show you were just watching, and no longer perceive the one that you were looking at because now you've shifted your frequency. That's how it works. Simple as that.
But how is it possible that like 5,000 years ago is happening right now also?
Because it's just a different TV show. It's just a different program. You're just calling it 5,000 years ago because that's your linear perspective. That's your relationship to the show. But it's going on right now. It's just going on in a format you think is called 5,000 years ago. That's the play that's playing. Just again, as if you watch a television program that is about life 5,000 years ago. But it's still playing right now. Same analogy.
Okay, I see.
Does that help?
It does help.
All right.
And I have one more question, if that's all right.
Yes?
I'm very into the...
One moment. Let me check with the great overlords of the universe if it's all right for you to have another question. Oh, all right. They grudgingly say yes.
Have I been granted one more question now?
That was a question. So now you're using them up, asking if you can ask questions. Just ask the question.
Okay.
I will tell you whether it's appropriate or not for us to answer.
Okay. Well, I'm very into the law of attraction. And
yes.
I see it working in my life all day long.
Yes.
Usually in little ways, but sometimes in really spectacular ways too.
Yes.
And
yes.
It seems to me like there's still some times where my higher self or something steps in and kind of keeps me from something and
keeps you from
or
something.
Like kind of like ask me like, is this what you really want? Like give me
it's not
like
about
of something.
Well, there's the idea. It's not about what you want. It's about what you need.
Okay.
There's a big difference sometimes between those. Sometimes they can overlap, but quite often what you want and what you need are very different things.
So even sometimes when I'm really focusing on one particular thing,
yes.
and I don't get that, it's because it's not what I need, right?
It's not what you need at that moment. Maybe all you needed to do was learn how to focus.
Damn.
The idea is, do you trust the way your life unfolds?
Absolutely.
Yes or no? Then nothing is keeping you from anything. Everything that happens is exactly what you need at that moment. Use it in the best and most positive possible way, and you may begin to understand why that thing happened instead of something else. Remember, these things are nonlinear too. So a thing may happen in your life and you may scratch your head and go, I do not understand why this is happening in my life right now. 10 years later, you may understand perfectly why it happened when it did.
Mm-hmm.
But 10 years later, from the higher mind, is right now. So the idea is that it just played out in your life in the way that it did linearly, because you're focused in a linear space-time perspective. But it had to express itself when it did in order for it to make sense to you when you caught up to the reason that it happened. So you would have the information you would need at that time by having had the experience 10 years ago.
I understand.
Make sense? You need to have a broader perspective of how all these things are interlinked rather than such a tunnel vision of linear reality. It's a much bigger network of things going on simultaneously that place themselves linearly where they need to, because that's how you need to experience it in order for it to ultimately make sense in the big picture of your entire life, not just what's happening with you at this particular moment.
That's what I'm starting to see, too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have so many questions.
So many questions.
Yes.
Are you sure that a lot of them aren't the same question in different clothing?
No, I'm not sure.
All right. Begin however you wish.
Okay. Are there any extraterrestrials that don't have any questions, or any beings, like, do plants have questions?
Yes, but not in the way that you understand that concept. It's a very different expression of consciousness, and it isn't really something that you can relate to in the way that you express it as a human. But everything is conscious. Everything is self-aware in one way, shape, or form, even though it may be a very alien form of self-awareness to you. But everything, in a sense, knows, if you want to call this a question, that it is being encouraged to be more of what it is. So it is always, in a sense, seeking. There is always mystery. There's always the opportunity to expand, to grow, to change, to express more of whatever it is. So if you want to say that that might be a series of questions, well, that's an analogy that can work, but it won't be exactly how those different life forms are experiencing it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So consciousness is similar to a state of questioning, or?
Well, in a sense, consciousness is self-awareness. It is the first reflection of all that is of itself, so it knows it is itself. So self-awareness is consciousness, and therefore it constantly expands as the reflections in a hall of mirrors continue to expand to infinity. So everything is in that state of self-reflectivity and self-expansion. Yes.
Okay.
Now, the structure never changes. The structure never grows. The hall of mirrors is the hall of mirrors. But the perspectives, the angles, the experiences constantly change, and that's how creation expands. But the structure of it never does.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Kind of, yes.
Kind of. All right. Good enough.
I'll have to listen to it again later.
If you say so.
I have a question about the physical body.
Yes.
And how negative beliefs affect it.
Well, I think you all have some experience with that, don't you? The first level would be called stress. The next level would be called disease. The next level would be called death.
Where did the first negative belief come from?
In the moment of the creation of existence itself, if you want to put it poetically or linearly, remember that once all that is was self-aware and became aware it is everything, then it is both positive and negative. Everything has positive and negative except the one, which is homogeneous and unaware of itself. But as soon as it became aware of itself, there is the Trinity. Positive, negative, the balance point in the center. So the idea of negative beliefs are inherent in the structure of existence itself. Make sense?
Yes. How do we love ourselves if we are one? We are just, we don't have something to,
How do you love yourself?
yeah, I mean, what is it that's loving ourselves?
You
You? We
and all that is. Remember, it's this and that, not this or that.
okay.
You have to understand that both sides, cause and effect, are actually one experience. One doesn't actually come before the other. Both are there simultaneously. So one reinforces the other. And from your linear perspective, sometimes it can seem as if one began before the other, but that's not actually mechanically the case. So all that is loving you unconditionally and allowing you as an aspect of all that is to also love yourself unconditionally. Yes?
Yes.
So it's all that is loving itself in all the ways it can.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Anything
Yes.
else?
So our body is a dense energy field?
Yes, it's kind of a crystallized spiritual energy field. Remember that you're actually in spirit right now. You never leave. That's kind of your natural state. You're just dreaming that you've left. Physical reality is just a projection of consciousness. You're playing a game, pretending that you've left the spirit realm, but you haven't. You never do.
So
Make sense?
after the body goes away,
You're just
dissolves.
expanding your focus. Because it's not really accurate to say that your spirit is in your body. It's more accurate to say your body is in your spirit. So you expand your consciousness focus beyond the physical realm, and in a sense you could say the body is reabsorbed, so to speak, back into spiritual energy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But it usually happens over time because body, the concept of your body, is a product of the linear space-time reality. Therefore, it follows those conditions. It follows those rules. Now, it doesn't have to. On our planet, at our point in our evolution, when we do die, our body just goes, it's just gone. Because we accelerate so rapidly into spirit. We leave nothing behind.
So there's less of a change in your consciousness?
There is less of a change in our consciousness, although it does expand. But we are already in our point of evolution quasi-physical, exhibiting both the qualities of physical and non-physical reality.
And you do have some time.
Yes,
in your
yes,
realm.
we understand the basic concept, but for us, it's much more flexible and malleable as it's becoming more so for all of you.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes. I have one more question.
Yes.
I had a dream many years ago about, I don't know if it was another planet, but I went to this place which appeared to be another planet, and all of the, there were rows of food growing, like vegetables,
Yes.
and everything was much more vibrant. And
Yes.
when I touched the vegetables,
Yes.
it was like they communicated with me, and they were,
Yes.
I had much more expanded consciousness.
What you
of them.
experienced was future Earth.
Oh. Okay. It was wonderful.
Well, yes, it is.
Yes.
Please again remember, everything exists simultaneously. Every possible version of Earth you can imagine exists alongside the version you're experiencing right now. You never change the Earth you're on. You change yourself, and you shift to another already existing version of Earth that is already more reflective of the change you made within yourself. But the Earth that you were on a moment ago still exists. You just keep shifting through different versions of it. Each version never changes. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
That's how you change. Because you are passing those parallel reality concepts through your consciousness. But from a linear space-time perspective, you experience it as if the change is going on outside you, in the world around you. It never is. You're changing and shifting yourself to different versions of Earth that are simply more representative of the change you made within you. You're doing that billions of times per second, literally. Billions of times per second. That's what time is. Time is a side effect of your consciousness shifting through billions of versions of parallel realities every second. Otherwise, if there was no shifting, there would be no movement. Everything would be a frozen snapshot. Make sense?
Yes. Yes, It
All right,
does.
well then go have fun with that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't really have any specific questions, so I just talk about something.
That's all right. You can make a statement if you wish.
That's fine. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was excitement.
Yes.
The world is just fascinating to me. There's so many, the physical world, there's like so many different, areas and things and everything. Lately, I've become very fascinated with aviation and, flight and all of that. Can I talk a bit more about how that works? Where does that excitement come in, and um, how does that translate into, physical world? Because
Well, it can translate many ways. I mean, when we talk about the idea of acting on your highest excitement, as we often say, we don't necessarily mean that you have to be jumping up and down and running around like crazy with your hair on fire. We simply mean that excitement can also be translated as a sense of balanced peace. It just depends on what you're passionate about and what is appropriate and in alignment with you at that moment as an expression of your true self. That's what that means. So it can express itself in any number of ways. You can be excited about being tired and going to sleep. You can be excited about many different things. You can be passionate and express your passion in any number of ways. It's up to you as a unique individual to decide which expression is true for you at any given moment. And it can change from moment to moment. One moment you may be passionate about expressing yourself this way. The next you may be passionate about expressing yourself a different way. You have to follow the thread. But excitement is the thread. It is your path. It's the physical translation of the vibrational energy that is truly your signature frequency. That's what excitement and passion and love and creativity is. Does that make sense?
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm not entirely sure why, sometimes some things excite me more than others and so on. Any
Because
reason?
right now, that's the thing that you need to really do. Again, it's the organizing principle. It shows you through what excites you more than something else that this is the thing you need to act on next. It's actually guiding you. It's actually laying things out for you in the order in which they actually need to be done that would serve you best. So if at the end of a day, when you're excited about being tired, you've accomplished only a certain amount of things by acting on your excitement, those are the things you needed to do that day and nothing else needed to be done.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I often feel very different from the rest of the people that I, meet. Like, for
Yes.
example, uh, dreams I don't have as much, or in terms of fear and all of
That's
that.
all right, then that's your way.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious about what that is exactly.
Everyone approaches this differently. Everyone has a different way of expressing and experiencing these things. Just be true to yourself.
Okay.
Yes?
When there's certain meditative experiences or certain energy moving, sometimes I feel cold. Sometimes the temperature feels a bit lower than what it was. Is there
Yes. Well,
some?
you may be dealing with different kinds of energy and acclimating to them. You may be processing them. You may be letting go of resistance to them. There may be many different reasons why those kinds of changes are experienced in the body when you're dealing with integrating new energies.
Okay.
Remember that in your science, the idea of becoming superconductive requires that your temperature be lower. Yes?
Yep.
To make sure there is less resistance to the energy flowing through. So
Right.
that might be one reason. You may be equating the idea of cooling yourself down to becoming more superconductive.
Okay.
Yes?
Yep.
Does that
makes
help?
sense. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Andrew, you good day.
So I have one question. So could you
Speak
tell,
up, speak up.
Could you tell me non-duality things? Non-duality. Non-duality? Yeah. Yes.
Non-duality.
Yes.
There is only non-duality in the one. That's the only place there is non-duality. But like I said, it's not really duality, it's a trinity. There is always the balance point in the center. So when there is duality, it's actually a trinity. And the duality begins with all that is, which is the first reflection of the one of itself that knows itself as the one. We simply refer to that as all that is. So the first reflection, the first self-awareness of the one creates the idea of the trinity that expresses itself as duality and the center balance point. But the one is unaware of itself. It's unbroken. It has no awareness, no reflection. There is no sense of an other. Therefore, there is no reflection that it is different than an other. So there is no duality there. There is only one.
Okay.
But that's the only level that has that. But it doesn't experience it because there's no experience in something that has no idea of itself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right, then please all enjoy your refreshment break. We will resume this transmission afterward.
Firstly, I wanted to express my intense love and appreciation for you. A couple of years ago, I decided I was going to commit suicide. I was doing really bad.
Oh, all
And
right.
I
How
found-
exciting.
It was exciting. It actually led me to one of your YouTube clips about projection, separation, and denial.
All right.
And that completely just blew my mind open, and I was able to make sense of the negative momentum that was going on inside my head.
All right, congratulations on connecting with your higher mind and becoming more of a whole person so that you could understand that you could function from your joy instead of from your fear.
Thank you. And I remember like that day I yelled out, I was like, Bashar, please help me. Can you give me a sign? And I got into my car and I turned on the radio. I don't know the name of the song, but there was this song and it was like, and I'm on top of the world. Hey, was it?
Oh, a nice rendition.
I'm sorry.
That was you connecting to our vibration and getting a reflection from your higher mind because you used this as a permission slip to create the synchronicity you needed for yourself. So by all means, thank you for using us that way, but you're the one that did it.
Okay.
That's how powerful you are.
Thank you.
All of you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we are happy to be utilized as a permission slip in lieu of the idea of you thinking that you're talking to your higher mind, but in fact, you're talking to your higher mind right now.
Yes.
Using us as a mask to make the process more palatable to you, because many of you don't believe you can speak with your higher mind. So we're happy to be used as that permission slip, but that's what's happening here.
And so I know my higher mind knows what I've been through, and I've been doing really good. I'm on like the brink of being completely in love with myself and working on self-love. And I
brink
feel
of love.
Yes, I feel like I'm on the last cusp of being the me that I want to be, but I still kind of have these beliefs that are petering out. They're not completely gone yet.
Such as. Can you name one?
Yes, like problems with my physical appearance.
Why do you have difficulty with that? Everything is what it needs to be representative of the path you chose to explore so that you would go through the appropriate process. And that is beautiful.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does. I was just looking for a deeper understanding because as I'm becoming who I really want to be, sometimes I become aware of when I'm in a parallel reality that I don't want to be. So I think I'm looking for a deeper understanding. As you say, fear is false evidence appearing real.
Can I give you a secret?
Yes, please.
Deep understanding isn't that deep. It's actually pretty obvious when you actually stop and look at it. It really only takes a little bit of logic, a little bit of obviousness, and you will have all the understanding that you need once you understand how the mechanism of existence actually works. That's all it takes. You just have to be able to see what the mechanism is, and then you can use it very clearly. So the deeper understanding that you're really talking about is just a deeper exploration of the beliefs within you so that you can identify them consciously. You see, Any belief that is actually out of alignment with who you prefer to be, once you actually identify it clearly, will automatically appear illogical and nonsensical. And as soon as it appears nonsensical, it's gone. That's the end of the process of letting it go, not the beginning. Because anything that would appear nonsensical, you wouldn't hold on to. So that's why it's so important to identify them, because when you actually look at what the belief is saying and realize that it makes no sense, you let it go. It's gone. But you need to find the core belief. You need to identify it. Because otherwise, if it remains unconscious, you have nothing to let go of, nothing to work with. So the deepness is just the deeper exploration of digging down and finding the core belief and being willing to be honest within yourself about what it is you believe to be true about yourself. Because I can guarantee you, you don't have to be afraid of digging deep down to find those core beliefs, because even though they may want to make you afraid to look for them, because that's simply how negative beliefs are designed to perpetuate themselves, to use your fear to make it less likely you will discover them and let them go. They're tricky little things. And the idea is, therefore, the more afraid you get, that means the closer you are to discovering them and letting them go, because they're throwing everything at you that they can to prevent you from doing that. So the stronger the fear, the closer you are to stepping out of it, to breaking free of it. Does this help?
It does. If I know you said when you identify them,
Yes.
you let go of them, but if they are still active, just
Then
'cause
you
I-
haven't found the core.
Okay.
Because again, one of the so-called tricks that many deep negative beliefs use is they will surround themselves what may seem to be the real issue beliefs, and they will allow you to find those and let them go because you haven't found the real one yet, the core one yet, the fundamental one yet, and that will delay you. But if you understand that your behavior hasn't changed, you haven't found the core belief. Keep digging. Go deeper. You'll find it. Remember, all you really have to be is honest within yourself and say, what am I really afraid might happen if I actually was willing to be who I prefer to be? That will usually allow you to discover what the fear-based belief, the negative belief, is actually all about. What are you afraid will happen if you actually are willing to be your true self? Easy, yes? Yes?
Yes.
Maybe? All right. There's nothing to be afraid of, because one of the tricks, again, of the negative belief is it will make you believe that if you dig down looking for that negative belief you have about yourself, that when you get down there, the negative belief will make you believe that it's actually going to be true. I'm not worthy. Oh no, I've dug down and I've actually discovered that I really am not worthy. Oh no, what will I do? I guarantee you, those negative beliefs will never turn out to be true. Because you see, what is true is that you are an indestructible, infinite being. And the negative belief has to lie to you about that in order to perpetuate itself. It has to lie because what it's telling you is not the truth. So it has to trick you, confuse you, lie to you to get you to buy into the idea that you're not worthy, you're not deserving. That's the only way it can perpetuate itself, is to get you to believe those things. So it will use your emotions and your thoughts, your fears, to amplify those particular ideas. But once you really dig down and break through the illusion, the smoke and mirrors and the lies, you will find out it will never actually be true. Because if it was, you wouldn't exist if you were truly unworthy. Because creation doesn't make mistakes. So, argue with creation all you want about your worthiness, you will never win that argument. Ever, because you will never cease to exist. Because existence is the fundamental quality, and you cannot cease to exist. Non-existence, by definition, doesn't exist. So that which exists cannot become non-existent. So once you exist, that's it. You exist. That's your fundamental quality, to be. There is no not to be. Apologies to your Shakespeare. Is this helping explain the mechanism a little more clearly for you?
Yes, and my other question, I've heard you say, while I'm digging and bringing this stuff to the surface to be healed,
Yes.
when something comes up, I've heard you say emotion is energy in motion. So
Yes.
if the fear comes up, as long
Celebrate
as I
it.
just
Celebrate
okay.
that it's come up, because the fact that it's come up is bringing your attention to something you need to know about so you can let it go. Like we said, if it remains unconscious, you have nothing to work with. Celebrate. The fear is there knocking on your door like a messenger saying, hey, there's something here you should see. The sooner you pay attention, the messenger will go away. But if you ignore it, if you deny it, if you're afraid of it, then it's going to knock louder and louder and louder and louder to get your attention, because that's what you want it to do. And it's going to start doing things, really doing things, to get your attention. Sometimes even allowing you to have accidents and all sorts of things that will really put you in a place where you then have no choice but to look at it. So don't go that far. You don't need to. You understand?
Yeah, so
Use fear as your friend.
When they come up, celebrate the fear, don't panic.
Thank you,
this is
fear.
possible.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention. You've done a wonderful job. Now you may go on your way, because now I'll deal with this. Thank you so much. Done. Simple as that. Make everything your friend. Everything happens for a positive reason, yes?
Yes.
You can use it for a positive reason. Even if something comes up that you don't prefer, you can use it in a positive way and get a beneficial effect. That's your job. It's just being what it is. Your job is to define it in the way that works for you instead of the way that does not.
As I put a positive definition into the beliefs and the things that I've gone through, then I'll get a different outcome.
Absolutely, because what you put out is what you get back. That's the law. You can't change that law. You can't break that law. It's part of the structure of existence. Number one, you exist. That's the first law. Can't do anything about that. Sorry. Number two, everything is here and now. Can't do anything about that. You can create the illusion that it's not here and now, but that doesn't mean it's actually not here and now. It is. The one is the all are the one. Can't do anything about that. What you put out is what you get back. Can't do anything about changing that. Everything changes except the laws. That's it. 5 laws. Everything you experience is built on those 5 laws, some combination of them. Everything else is your ball game, your perspective, your opinion, your beliefs, everything else. There are no other facts except those 5 facts. Everything else is just an opinion, a belief, a perspective. That's all.
Or an illusion.
Same difference. Because you're creating a projection in order to have an experience. So it's an illusion that feels real, so that you can have a particular experience. This is what beliefs are for. They have to perpetuate themselves, or you wouldn't be able to focus on having that experience. They have to seem real, and they have to seem like no other belief is possible at that moment. So your skeleton key is that you always know that no matter how real it seems, it's still just a belief, and a belief can be changed. That's what unlocks you from what may feel like a trap. This is not a fact, it's just a belief. It's just a perspective. How could I change it? What new definition could I give it that will give me a different effect? That's your responsibility to come up with that. Does that help?
Yes.
Sounds like fun? Yes?
Yes.
Sounds
Okay.
like empowerment? Yes?
Yes.
There you go.
My last question was, it's funny because before I discovered that YouTube video, I had actually I was very afraid of aliens my whole life. I don't know why. And
Ooh, we're
when-
scary.
when I was little,
aliens.
when I was little, I had a nightmare that I was in my hallway and I was
Yes.
going to the bathroom and I looked outside and there was like 2 grays standing there.
Well,
and I
yes.
woke up in the hallway, but I thought it was a dream, but then I woke up in the hallway.
Yes.
Did something really happen with
Yes.
that?
But the point is, there's really nothing to be afraid of. It's just that when you're not brought up understanding how to deal with these kinds of things that are actually going on around you in the universe all the time, then you feel like you're out of control, and that's what causes the fear. There's actually nothing to be afraid of in terms of being afraid of them. The fear you feel is the fears within yourself about things that are not settled within you, about your control in life.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. My deep love and appreciation.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
How are you?
Perfect, and you?
Really good.
Oh,
Thank
all
you
right.
for coming here. I mean, it's very exciting.
Well, I'm not there, but thank you for the sentiment.
Yeah. It's the same thing. I mean, it's not the same thing, but... So, I have a few questions.
Yes.
Can you explain what happened in Atlantis?
Atlantis? Do
Yeah.
you mean its final destruction?
Could you give like a... Yeah, yeah.
What you call asteroidal impact into the Atlantic Ocean, causing a gigantic tsunami that wiped it clean.
Can you give a little bit more, like, before that? Like, what went on?
Well, there were many things that went on. It spanned many thousands of years. It reached a very, very high level of civilization, a very balanced level of civilization at one point. The idea, of course, however, is that over time, for a variety of different factors we won't go into too deeply, there became schisms and fear-based beliefs and all sorts of manner of negative and positive kinds of struggles and strife that eventually allowed the civilization to sort of break down over time and attract to themselves the idea of their ultimate destruction.
Okay, okay.
That's what you call cliff notes of that history.
All right. All right.
Especially because they sort of fell over a cliff.
Ouch. Do you have any, like, Atlantean ties?
All of you do.
All right.
All of you do. Because you're actually going through similar cycles now. Again, slightly different, but you're sort of connecting to those times to allow yourself to make different decisions about what direction you will go in as a civilization. So most of you are connecting to the idea of the Atlantean experience, since it actually does exist simultaneously with you in a parallel reality.
I kind of feel that. I feel that energy sometimes. So does
Yes.
my dad.
Yes. Well, you're drawing upon the information and experiences of the people there so that you can inform your experience here, even as many of them may be connecting to many of you to draw upon your experiences and information to inform their experience in Atlantis.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, let's talk about the Orions. Same question. Do you have any, like, Orion ties as well?
Yes.
Like.
And again, the main theme in both contexts is the transformation of darkness and negativity into light and positive energy and freedom.
Was I, like, not really me, but was I part of the Black League or no?
You have some connection to that, but not exactly in the same way as the channel. But you are peripherally connected.
All right. That's cool.
It's whatever temperature you want it to be.
No, I have a question about the Oversoul.
Oversoul, yeah.
Yeah, why does the Oversoul, like, decide, like, keep having experiences on Earth? Like, does it want, like...
What makes you think they're only having experiences on Earth?
Oh, true. I mean, it's all over the place.
It's all over
yeah.
the place, in all sorts of time frames, simultaneously, yes.
Okay.
Remember, everything happens at once?
Yeah, yeah.
From its perspective, especially. So it doesn't appear from its perspective that it's having all these lives over and over again. It's just having them all at the same time.
So you're just basically finding a, like, new way to explain yourself, kind of, to the Oversoul? I mean, the Oversoul is experiencing its self.
It's experiencing itself as a collection of selves simultaneously experiencing themselves.
Okay, that's a little confusing.
All right.
I mean, it's a little confusing, but I mean, I understand it, I think.
Well, if you were watching, let's say, for example, on your planet, about 5 different television shows simultaneously on 5 different screens, you would at least have the beginning of an analogy, because you would be paying attention, you'd be picking up on the essence of what each show is about and kind of absorbing all that and looking at the connections between them and seeing if there are patterns in that, and then taking those patterns as your experience and absorbing it and expanding your knowledge in that way. by comparing and contrasting all those different 5 experiences all at once.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Because sometimes I feel like they
Yes.
leak in sometimes.
They do. There's a lot of overlap in a variety of ways. What you think of as your history is actually a dynamically changing thing and is actually the result of overlaps of several different parallel realities from moment to moment.
So-
It's not a linear path.
Since everything's here now,
Yes.
you can actually change your story here and now, which would affect the past
Yes.
and future.
The
as
past
well.
is created from
Yeah.
the present, not the
Yeah.
other way around.
Yeah. That's very exciting.
Because as you change yourself into a new person, linearly speaking, the only way that the existence of that new person would make sense is if they had a different past than the person that was there a moment ago. So you're connecting into a parallel reality, the parallel reality that's representative of that person, which contains the past necessary to have arrived at that person. So you're changing all the time. Your history is dynamic, never static. And you may not even know that. 5 minutes ago, you may have had a completely different history than you think you have now, but you will only remember the one that's relevant for the person you are at the moment, making you think you always have that history, but that's not necessarily so. 5 minutes ago, you may have been a completely different person with a completely different history, but you won't necessarily remember that because you don't need to, because it's not relevant for the person and history you are experiencing now.
All right.
You're constantly shifting, constantly shifting. If you really start to wrap your mind around how much you're really shifting, you're going to get dizzy very quickly.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That happens sometimes with me. I mean,
Yes. As you catch up to the rate of your shift, sometimes it can be very disorienting, but that's all right. That's a good sign.
It's a crazy ride.
Yes. Anything else?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, no?
yeah, I do.
All right.
Yeah, your planet.
Yes.
Since you don't have names, how do you know who you talk-
Remember
yeah.
that we're telepathically linked.
All right.
We know each other's frequency and vibration.
All right.
We feel who everyone is.
It's kind of like here sometimes. I feel
Yes.
certain people. I
Yes.
sense their frequency and
You
energy.
know them without necessarily needing to know their name. You can feel the vibrational essence of them, so to speak.
That's so cool.
So that's what we do. But we do it consciously all the time.
Now, is planet Earth right now going through that? It will eventually get there.
Eventually,
Okay,
if you remain on the same path. Yeah.
that's exciting.
Yes, it is.
It is. I have one final statement.
Yes.
This is like a dream of mine. I do want to play drums for you, for your civilization sometime.
All right.
That'd be fun.
Well, play them and we'll hear it.
All right. We can have
Doesn't matter where
we
you
got a
are,
jam
where
session
we are.
sometime.
With the intention that you focus on us while you're doing it, it will be absorbed into our general collective frequency, and everyone that needs to perceive it will perceive it synchronistically.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do that when I practice.
All right.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bashar.
much.
Question is regarding to purpose.
Purpose.
Correct.
Your purpose?
Yes.
Same as everyone's purpose. To be yourself as fully as you can. The idea of acting on your highest excitement is an indication of the expression of your purpose, but your purpose is to be you as fully as you can. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that too simple?
Yes.
Then you may complicate it however you wish.
As human beings, before we come to this life and experience what we're experiencing, do
Yes.
we come with a pre-laid out path?
In some senses, many of you do, although it's not necessarily as rigid as you may think. There are certain themes that you decide to explore, and you could consider those themes a type of destiny, if you wish, but your free will determines how you will explore that theme. You can explore it happy, sad, upside down, backwards, forwards, fast or slow, whatever you wish, according to your free will. But you will explore the theme that you set out for yourselves because that's the definition of the life, the process you go through in discovering yourself from that particular angle, that particular path is the very essence of why you are you, as this particular persona in this life. So you work both ends of it, in a sense, by making a choice from a higher level and then making choices with your free will once you are in the idea of the physical experience, exploring the theme that was chosen from the other level. Now, of course, we're speaking about all of this from a linear point of view. From our perspective, everything exists all at once, and there really isn't a before and an after. But we understand that from your space-time perspective, it seems as if you are a spirit before the life, then you choose to have a life, then you die and leave the life. But that's just your perspective from a physical point of view. All these stages of your existence actually all exist simultaneously. But you don't have to worry about that right now.
Okay.
Does this help?
A little bit.
Anything else?
Yes. So my mother tells me stories about my father that I never met, and he used to talk about aliens all the time to her.
Yes.
I never met him. I never talked to her about this until recently, and it's something that's always followed me from my childhood.
Yes.
I've had...
Well, it goes in family lines quite often.
Okay.
Back for generations and generations and generations.
So I've been watching your videos for a long time, and I always feel like there is a message that you might be able to help me out with.
The message that is the most important message we can possibly deliver to any of you is simply the three-part formula of act on your highest passion to the best you are able with absolutely zero insistence on what you think the outcome ought to look like. That's it. Because when you do that, you activate the kit of excitement that contains all the tools you need in life. It becomes the driving engine that propels you through life. It becomes the organizing principle through synchronicity that shows you exactly what you need to do, in what order, and when. It becomes the path of least resistance that allows you to flow through your life in an effortless way, a joyful way. It becomes the path that connects you to every expression of your excitement that is relevant for you to express in your life. It becomes the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything within you that is out of alignment with that excitement, so you can identify it and let it go because it doesn't serve you, and add its energy to your overall excitement. It is the thing that supports you in all the ways you need to be supported in order to allow you to continue to act on your excitement to the best of your ability. And it will absolutely leave nothing relevant out. It is a complete kit. So when you act on the three-part formula, you activate that kit, and therefore, all you have to do from that point forward is to continue to act on the things that contain even just a little bit more excitement than any other option at that moment in your life, as best as you can, taking it as far as you can till you can take it no further, with absolutely no assumption or insistence on what you think the outcome should look like, because that's actually a limitation on what could happen even more grandly than you imagined. And by doing that, and then every single circumstance that comes up as a result of the actions you take, just make sure you always know that it's there for a positive reason, and you will always get a positive effect from it, no matter how it looks. Even if something crops up that you don't prefer, if you know that that happened for a positive reason, you will get a positive and beneficial effect out of it instead of identifying it or defining it as a negative. That's all you have to do. That's the whole formula. There's nothing else to it. It's that simple. Does that help you?
Yes. Last one.
Yes.
When I was a child, I was taken somewhere in the water, in the ocean. I just have a memory. I don't know if it was a dream or what it was, but I was taken into the water, deep into the water, and into a cave. And when I got inside the cave, there was a bright light.
Yes.
The light seemed to me what I could remember as Mother Earth. Is there anything about that you could tell me?
Yes, very often, many of you will have different encounters. You will get shifted into a slightly different reality than what you are used to as a physical reality, and have encounters on that slightly different plane with many different kinds of beings. But the dreams that you may remember may be symbolic interpretations of what actually happened, because your physical mind can't either make sense out of what happened, or you are encouraged by those beings to have what is called a screen memory, so that when you wake up, you will just remember what seemed like a strange dream and won't actually remember what happened, because there are reasons why memorizing what happened may actually interfere with your life unfolding in a natural way. So what you're experiencing or describing is a screen memory that is typical of being taken aboard a type of ship, placed in a liquid immersion that allows for the shift to happen without damage to your body to a slightly different dimensional plane, and the light being the idea of an examination or a scanning beam upon you to determine your state of being. Does that help?
Do you know what the purpose of that was?
Yes, to determine your state of being, your state of energy, to see how you were progressing. Because you have made an agreement, like many of you, with these beings to be part of what we typically call the evolutionary hybridization agenda. Part of the evolution of the Earth becoming what we term the sixth hybrid race. So you're playing your part, and now and then there will be, well, checkups.
How am I doing? How am I doing?
You're doing fine.
More specific?
You're doing very fine.
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Pleasant dreams to you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Speak up and be bold so that all may hear what you have to share.
Okay, hi there.
And to you, good day.
I'm Bonnie, and I'm just starting my journey.
You are? Were
Well-
you just born yesterday?
No. Actually, I've been on the journey for a long time,
We thought
and I've
so.
been trying to,
You've
help
been
my
what?
children.
You've been what?
I've been
You've
trying
been what?
to-
You've been
I've
what?
been
We are
trying-
selectively deaf to certain terminologies,
Okay,
such
so,
as the word trying. You're either doing something or you're not. Now,
Well-
if you want to try, that's an experience unto itself, and that's fine and valid, but the only experience you will have is the experience of trying and not actually doing the thing. So, what would you prefer? To do,
to do, okay.
and what would you prefer to be doing that you're not doing?
Okay, well, I've been doing, trying.
I beg your pardon? Speak
Okay,
up.
I've been talking to my children about journeys and paths they can take and so forth
Yes,
for a
yes,
very
yes.
long time. And I kind of lost my own focus, and now I'm
What are you exploring?
need to get myself back on the same path that now my son has really, come full circle with, and
Yes.
is now
All right, well, what could you
bringing
be
me
doing?
back here. So yes, so as
What
far
could you
as
be
your
doing that you're
teacher,
not doing?
could you possibly put me in the direction I need to be with your teaching?
Pick a direction. Again, it's not that complicated. When we talk about the idea of acting on your highest excitement, we don't necessarily mean it has to represent itself right away as a career or life-spanning project or anything of that nature. All we're saying is if you don't have something expressing itself that way, begin simply. Look around. Just look at the options available to you. Simple, everyday options. Walking, reading, singing, writing, having lunch with a friend, whatever it may be. Just pick the one that has even just the tiniest bit more attraction or excitement to it than any other option and act on that one first to the best you are able until you can do it no further with no insistence or assumption as to what the outcome of that action will be. You can take it slow. You can start step by step. It will eventually build into more opportunities coming to you synchronistically for more and bigger expressions of excitement, because all excitement is a thread that's connected to all other expressions of excitement that are relevant for you in your life. So you don't follow the form in which the excitement comes, you follow the excitement itself. That's the path. That's your compass needle pointing to your magnetic north. That's all you need to do. We will assume that you are here today having this conversation because out of all the options available to you, this is the one at the moment that excited you the most. Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
That's all
Absolutely.
it takes. That's all it takes. When you are done with this conversation today, when you leave this particular location on your planet, just say, out of all the options available to me, which one is more exciting than any other? If it seems that two are equally exciting or more, you usually don't have the same degree of ability to act on them equally. But if you do, you might as well flip a coin. Because the idea is, since there is a guiding principle in all of this, automatically, if they really appear equal, both in levels of excitement and level of ability to be acted on, it won't matter which path you then take, because if it is not the appropriate path, it will contain the synchronicity necessary to turn you back around to the one that is actually correct for you. It's a self-guiding principle. This is how it works. Understand, we're not talking philosophy here. This is physics. It's just energy physics. This is a description of the mechanism of existence and how you can use it more efficiently, more consciously. That's all it takes. Is this making any sense?
Yes.
Is this
very much.
helping you?
Yes.
All right, and?
And my son has seen the number 1, every time he turns around on the clock, it's 111.
These synchronistic markers, which many of you have, that sometimes, quite often involve the concept of numbers, will be symbolic reflections of synchronicity. In other words, when you have that, it's a marker. It's an indication that at that moment you are in the correct energy state, fully aligned with your path. Stay in that state and act from that state at that moment. It is showing you that your timing is aligned. Yes?
Oh, yes. Great.
That's it.
That's great.
Does that help?
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.